Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 3rd of October 2024, the day after the most monumental event in the history of crypto. I have got a sugar hangover. I have had so much cake, it is coming out of my ears. However, I need to have a word with you. Peter, Kishan, Mags, Chris, I left you with Bitcoin and I left you with crypto for one day, and you broke it, okay? You might not remember, this happened 3 months ago. I didn't stream for a day, I came back and you'd broken it again. This is why we cannot have nice things. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to go through, of course, we're going to look at the markets, we're going to look at the X-Files, and then we're going to look at the fact that this is a happy dip. If I told you when we were heading towards 66,000, we could get Bitcoin at 59,000 and 60,000 again, you would have bitten my hand off. But now we have people in chat just so upset with the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to show you at the start of the show why we are down here. We're also going to look at the Bitwise ETF. They are applying for an XRP ETF. We're going to look at the volume on Solana. We're going to look at Justin Sun selling off his airdrop, the Sui Bridges, and then Kamala. What is Kamala planning to do to your unrealized gains? All of that in 1 hour. And I am going to get to your chats. I am going to get to your comments in a second. Bottom left-hand corner, if you haven't subscribed, do so. We are nearly at 175,000, which is 25,000 away from our target for the end of the year. 200,000 would be amazing by the end of the year. Bottom right-hand corner, we've got the $74,000 target for Bitcoin. It's 20% away. It's 20% away. We are going to go there. I know you're very upset, but do you remember what the title of the show was on Tuesday? Pumptober. I changed one letter to Dumptober because I had 1 day off. Okay, let's have a quick look at the comments then from some very, very angry people in chat. Very angry people. Let's get through some of these. Bitcoin is getting ready to break. Hold onto your hats. The whole market is a joke. I don't want to get involved. I hope it all goes broke. A few more people. Good morning, Mags. Happy belated birthday, buddy. Hope you had a nice one. Droptober. That's a better title than Dumptober. Came here to hello, say, what's the point of listening to the news? It's good one day, the next it's crap. The point is, well, again, we covered this 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you were on the stream. The price of Bitcoin in the last 14 years has moved up to its price based on 27 months worth of days. So 2 years worth of movements have got us to $60,000 out of 14 years. It's not as much as you think. When Bitcoin goes up, it goes up. When Bitcoin doesn't move, it doesn't move. Okay? It's not like buying gold or oil or buying shares in a stationary company. It's a new asset. It will go through price discovery. It's volatile. If you want to go and give yourself like a history lesson on how similar stocks have worked, go and have a look at the Tesla stock and the Google stock and the Amazon stock from about 8 to 10 years ago. Go and have a look at the volatility. I watched Tesla when it was going from $10 to $80 to $20 to $60 in a very short period of time. Stocks tend to be volatile as companies grow. Bitcoin is no different, neither are the alts. And don't forget, when the market retraces, and I'm going to show you why, when the market retraces, people in crypto flood to Bitcoin and flood to fiat. They are the two safe havens. So although Bitcoin might come down 5%, believe you me, your alts are going to be down 20%. It's just the way it works. But conversely, when Bitcoin goes up 5%, your alts go up 20%. It's just the way the market works. Hodl or dip more, I take one big chance. Dollar cost average in. I'm very happy the price goes up or goes down, says Eugene. I'm going to sell my rubbish crypto. It's going nowhere. Wake up. I've been in previous bull runs all the way back to 2017. Experienced a massive dump into 2018, reminding me of the point when I was thinking about the bull run still. Again, the other comment I will make to you is we shouldn't be at $60,000 at this moment in time. We broke all-time highs before the halving. Why did we do that? Because ETFs came along and pumped the market full of cash. Where should we be at this moment in time? Probably somewhere between 45 and 50,000 is where we should be. We're not. We're over 60,000. We were at 66,000 not too long ago. But I'm going to go through that now. Let's put the comments to one side while I go through the charts. Now, the internet has been really, really dodgy today and last night. Now, for all of you out there asking what I got for my birthday, I got a new coffee machine and I'm wired, number one. Number two, I got a new mouse and I think the mouse is interfering with the Wi-Fi. I've switched it to Bluetooth in the hope that that fixed the problem. Bitcoin then, where are we? We are down at 60,300. This is a crucial level. 61,000 was a crucial level for me, and we came through that. So I'm going to have a look at the Bitcoin chart in a minute. Ethereum is down 6%. That's taken a pounding. BNB is down. Solana is down. But, of course, if you'd have invested in the two safest crypto assets, Tether and USDC, you would, of course, still have your $100. XRP is down. We're going to talk about the XRP case and the bad news. I'm going to break it to you gently at first, but then with full force. Flare is up, eCash, Aptos, and then when you start to see the gainers being stable coins, you really know the market is taking a bit of a pounding. What's down then? Bonk, Beam, Phantom, Dog with Hat. Now, I did say, irrespective, I didn't want to click on that, irrespective of any market movement, do not, under any circumstances, buy FTT. There is no exchange. It hasn't been in existence for almost 2 years. People are buying and trading it thinking that there's going to be an FTX2. It's not going to happen. That coin is trash. Okay, it's like the Cell token associated with Celsius. It doesn't have any inherent value. People are trading it based off the paybacks. It's worthless. If you buy that token, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get even more wrecked than you are if what we're going to go through in a minute carries on. XRP is down. Eigenlayer will, of course, sell off because it was airdropped. Render is down. There's a lot of losers today. Now, I'm going to remind you of the little video I played at the start of Tuesday's show. And I said, if you see the bear on Wednesday, when I'm not here, if you see the bear, you bark at it and you chase that bear off. What did you do? Okay? You looked at that bear and you ran away. Okay? You let the bear come and eat your sandwiches. Everybody's now wrecked because you didn't chase the bear off. I even told you on Tuesday to watch out for the bear. I also said, when everybody expects the market to go up, what happens? We come down. When everybody expects the market to go down, we go up. Think about your mentality 4 days ago. Where were we? We were going up. Think about your mentality now. We're going down. Okay? There's absolutely valid reasons for what is happening, and it is not manipulation. Now, this is the crux of what I'm going to get to, and I'm going to throw something else in here as well, which was the pandemic, which technically isn't conflict, but it is a black swan. When the conflict happened on October the 7th, Bitcoin, if we go back 2.5 years, Bitcoin went down 10% and then went up 27% over the following 6 days. The pandemic was the same. Excuse me. Now, there is one other thing I want to tell you about this. I told you about a book called Unshakable. Unshakable is a book that I read 10 years ago, 8 years ago, by Tony Robbins. I'm not going to give you an affiliate link. I don't care. The point of the matter is I told you about it. In that book, they went back over the history of the stock market, looking at different things. For example, dead people are better traders than active traders, because if you don't trade, you actually do a lot better than if you do trade. Point number one. Point number two, and this is the most important one. For every worst day in the history of the stock market, so for every red blood day, there are 2 or 3 green days following it. Okay? When you see the market absolutely tank, whether it be the stock market, whether it be oil, whether it be anything, they recover afterwards. When you're in the middle of a correction like we're seeing now, because of a global event, the markets are going to retrace. The only winner at this moment in time is gold. That's the only winner. Everything else is going to get pummeled for a period of time, and then it's going to recover. Each of these two events, people thought it was the end of Bitcoin. Stocks were just going to keep tanking. Are we going to see the lowest lows in the S&P over the last 50 years? All of this news came out. Why? Because it's headline grabbing attention. And they want you on edge because you will read their gutter press and you'll believe it. Everything that has an emotional reaction like this, which is not fundamental to the stock or the share or Bitcoin or crypto, is an opportunity to buy. Now, the question is this the bottom? That's the question that everybody wants to know. And in my opinion, I don't think it is. And we're going to get onto that in a minute. We are going to get onto it. We're going to get a look at the Bitcoin chart in a minute. I'm looking at some other charts for you in a second, because there's another thing that's happened, which I want to show you, which explains where we're going. Since 2020, the national debt has grown by 12 trillion. Now, 12 trillion over 23 trillion is a 50% increase. Inflation over the same period of time has been about 35%. So in real terms, the debt of America has gone up 15%, roughly, not 35%, 50%, 55%. You've got to take inflation into account. When you just look at numbers like this, it's great. But the value of the dollar has shrunk by 30%. That's why everybody in America is complaining about the prices. So again, some of these things, we did this national debt thing 3 weeks ago. We all know who they owed the debt to. It's just one of those numbers that they throw around, and again, to scare people. Right, before we get onto some charts then, the last thing, the liquidation heat map. Again, we're not seeing massive numbers. You know, we're not seeing the 800, 700 million liquidations. We are seeing 300 million. When we looked at this on Tuesday, I think it was about 198 million. It's not massive. These aren't massive numbers. We're not seeing a massive deleveraging of the markets. If you look at the top there, you'll see the long and short ratio is 49.7, 50.3. It's nearly 50-50. Again, I'm not super worried about a massive dump to the downside, but we are going to show you a worrying chart, and that is the one that we try and keep an eye on every Monday, which is, of course, the DXY. Now, the DXY, we were hoping it was going to go down to this 99.6 level. What happens when the DXY goes up? It puts pressure on Bitcoin and crypto, and they do not perform very well. That is the top of this range, which is at, what is it, 101.92. We're at 101.88. If this breaks out and starts to do this, then Bitcoin is going to suffer, because Bitcoin wants a weak dollar. This is what we've looked at this for what, 3 months now, 4 months, keeping an eye on these different levels, and yes, it's rattled around in here. Maybe we see this kind of action. Now, I do have a new mouse, which means my Bob Ross drawings are going to be even worse while I get used to the mouse, but we haven't broken that line yet. If we do, the next line to get to will be about 102.8. If the DXY keeps going up, if the dollar gets stronger because we have conflict, then that's not good news for all risk on assets, not just crypto, other risk on assets as well. So we need to keep an eye on that. That's not looking too good. And again, Bitcoin dominance, this is what I was saying a minute ago about where does money flow in crypto. I think we are back. Let's have a look. We're back. I do apologise. We have some intermittent problems on the stream, and they are affecting us every 10 or 15 minutes. I do apologise. Now, let's get back. So, very quickly then, I'm going to try and get through the stream as fast as possible because I think the internet's not going to hold up for me. This is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So, this just shows you how Ethereum is doing against Bitcoin. It is down below 0.4. If we want to see the dominance chart, which wasn't working a second ago, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Again, we're on our way. So the Bitcoin, 60% Bitcoin dominance is looking good. I think we're going to get there. What does that mean? It means that all the alts are going to bleed against Bitcoin, bleed against the Bitcoin price. We're still there. We've had some wobbles. People were talking about a breakdown to 56%. It doesn't matter. We are going towards 60%, and I don't think anything is going to stop us right now. So we have conflict. The DXY is breaking up. The pairs against Bitcoin are breaking down. Okay? This is what happens when there is a correction in the market from an outside source. Bitcoin within crypto is the flight to safety. Fiat is, of course, the flight to safety for those that don't want to hold Bitcoin. They will sit on the sides and they will sell off. So Bitcoin gets sold off, the alts get sold off, everything gets sold off, okay? But when you're in the middle of it, you can't see the wood for the trees. There is nothing in the charts to indicate that this is the end of the bull run or this is the end of crypto, okay? This is a reaction the same way any other asset would react to conflict, okay? I've shown you what happened with Ukraine. I've shown you what's happened with the other conflict in the Middle East. We need to see where we are in another month's time. Now, we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart next, because again, I don't think we're going to hold up for the entire hour. I think the stream's going to pack in. Okay, so we have this lovely pattern here that, as people have quite rightly been pointing out, we have been coming down like this for probably 1st of March. We're going to call it 1st of March. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 7 months. We're now in our 8 months of being in this pattern. Now, the bottom of my bull market support band was 61.1. We are at 60,500. Now, can we come lower? Absolutely, we can come lower. We're going to fight at 60,000. The question and the poll question of the day in chat has been a very simple one. Where are we going to go? What is going to be the price of Bitcoin when we finally do bottom? Are we going below 59,000? And the audience is split. 62% say yes. 38% have said no. So a lot of you think we're going to go below 59,000. So let's go to the daily. Just to give you, actually, we're going to bring that down a little bit more. Okay. So where could we go? I'm going to borrow the top line from here because this isn't going to be used for a while. I think somewhere in that region there is the target for me. I think 57.8 is the target for me. We've rattled around there for a while. When we fell below 60,000, we were stuck at 58,000 for many periods. It was resistance, it was support. I think 58,000 is where we go if the conflict continues. Now, a lot of these types of news are knee-jerk emotional reactions, which is what I said before. Knee-jerk emotional reactions tend to overreact to things, yes? When you always hear in the news, somebody's caught, I don't know, somebody's caught donkeypox. So one person's got donkeypox, and then suddenly there's predictions that 50 million people are going to contract it, and it never comes true. People are calling for certain world events to happen. That, of course, is not going to play out. So people overreact all the time. This could be the overreaction. Now, I did draw a chart, which, again, I am not the greatest drawer. If you want TA, tune in to the Oracle. Now, that is taking us down to the line I've just told you about. Okay, now, again, let's try and draw that again without being a 2-year-old. Okay, so that's what the last time we played out, the last kind of reaction to a bit of news like this. And we come down there. So, it's possible. 58,000 is my target anyway, irrespective of that. If we lose 60,000, we're going to 58, 57.8, something like that. Let's see what other kind of news we are going to get, because we were in this pattern that's broken, so we can ignore that. We're coming down for a bit. I think today is Thursday. I think it's not going to finish playing out before the end of the week. So we're going to go into the weekend maybe. And then maybe next week we'll start to move back up. It is the best month in crypto for Bitcoin and for crypto in general, October. However, we have to appreciate that world events are outside of our control. I've already told you that Taiwan is going to probably be the next big event that happens. Nobody knows when that's going to happen, but that could be the next big event. And again, what do we do there? So we don't know when these things are going to happen. We just have to look at the charts and see where we're going to go. I think 57.8 is the bottom for me, and there's nothing really I can say about that. Now, there is one other bit of news that I have missed off, which is about the because we're about to talk about the Ethereum ETF, the XRP ETF in a second. But this broke last night. Is this the right article I've found? Yes, it is. Okay. So, Ripple, the SEC has filed a notice of appeal of Judge Torres's ruling. Now, what is so important about this is the time. Okay? I said if this happens and there is an appeal going through, there'll be no real bull run for XRP. One of the SEC prosecutors, he resigned yesterday. The last act that he did was to put the appeal in, and now he's gone. This is going to run till 2026, okay? And XRP, Ripple, they are going to cross appeal about the $125 million fine. This is going to drag on. This is, in my opinion, the end of the great bull run for XRP. It's certainly not going to go anywhere near $6, $7, $8. I think it's going to be lucky to get towards $2 or $3, if that, in this bull run. It is going to have a bull run, but who's going to buy XRP with a court case hanging over it? How is the XRP ETF ever going to be put through with this court case against it? It's just, I cannot understand for the life of me how Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party are trying to appeal to crypto voters, and then they do this and they allow this to happen. Okay, it's just, I mean, this is just another nail in the coffin of the Democrat Party campaign. There's no other word to describe it. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you've got 50 million Americans holding crypto, and even 20 million of them know about crypto news and keep up to date with it, they'll know about this and they'll see that the SEC is directly connected to Biden. Biden appoints the head of the SEC. When Trump wins in November, he will appoint a new head of the SEC. Normally, you have a Democrat or Democrat-leaning head of the SEC when the Democrats are in power, and Republican when the Republicans are in power. That's how it works. Again, politics shouldn't be in this, but it is, so we have to deal with it. So, on Monday, the Bitwise XRP ETF was submitted with an S1 registration form. The SEC has until October the 7th. They didn't wait. They did it on the 2nd. They decided to appeal. Now, this is the problem. They've not just appealed the 2023 ruling. They've appealed them both. All of the rulings have been appealed. It's just an absolute disaster for XRP and Ripple. While many in the crypto industry are expecting the SEC to challenge the ruling, appeal appears to contradict revisions made 2 weeks ago, in which they clarified its usage of the term crypto asset security was a shorthand meant to encompass the entire set of contract expectations. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see with this, but it's going to drag on to 2026. There's no way on earth this is going to be finished by next year, because I believe the first date that there can be a meeting about this is the 2nd of December. So that is 2 months from now. And then we're going to have, April, May next year. Then we're going to have October, November next year. It's going to be January, February next year before we hear about it. It's an absolute mess. Now, I know that, let me just bring this when it loads. Right, okay, so this is the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Now, as you can see, we have this red line here. This was the date of the ruling. If we drag that across to there, you will see what happened. So XRP was starting to break up. It had gone from 51 cents up to a high of 66 cents. This, again, was purely speculation, which we said at the time. People expecting the outcome to be favourable. It hasn't. It's retraced from 65 to 51 cents. What's that? A drop of 25% down. I did say that we are likely to revisit lows on XRP, maybe even coming down towards this 45-cent range. Again, we've seen similar drops before here, and I think if we go back a bit further, we saw another drop. Didn't we see a drop when XRP sold back here? There we go. That was when we believe that's when Ripple sold to generate the funds to pay the fine. So they've known about this since then. So we've seen this kind of dip before. And again, I don't know a way back now for Ripple, not in terms of it going to zero, of course, but in terms of this bull run. I think a 4x from here, 5x from here would be astronomically great for XRP. It's not going to get an ETF. It's not going to get any kind of institutional adoption. How can they create any kind of infrastructure in America with the banking institutions when they've got court cases hanging over them by the SEC? The only hope for me is that in February, Trump comes in and just cancels all of the crypto enforcement action. That's the only hope I can see for XRP. It's not in a good place. Not in a good place. Am I going to sell it? No. I bought my XRP at what? I don't know. Was it 25, 30 cents? So I'm not going to sell it, but it's not a good place. It's not a good place. Very quickly then, I am seeing a lot of chats. Crypto keeps dumping. Mantra and Aero will go to zero. Yeah, it's not going to go to zero. Stay strong. 2 nights ago, his notebook died. Fired. Wow. Well, that's a few bad days for you there, Mags. Indeed. I think, didn't you win on our giveaway on Wednesday? Not that that's any consolation. Day 3 of Reptober, indeed. I think it's definitely Dumptober. We should believe in ourselves. Expect lower prices. Expect a lot lower prices. Hold your hats. Might as well wait for next year. There's an awful lot of chat going on. I'm not going to be able to read it all out. The Howey test is indeed the bone of contention. And we've talked about this before, about the Howey test. We've said that there is a crypto asset test being proposed where if the token has more than 60% of its tokens amongst, if you can prove that it's decentralized, then it passes the new crypto test. Now, I think that's a pretty good idea. I think that any company that holds 55% of an asset, it's centralized. If you're holding 5 or 10% of an asset and the community and crypto in general owns 90%, it's not a centralized project at all. So I do agree with that. Now then, Solana is on the up. It's flipped Ethereum again. Can Sol overtake Ethereum? I wish people would stop asking this stupid question. Okay? Sol is not Ethereum. Ethereum is not Cardano. Cardano is not XRP. They are not the same. Just because they are all blockchain-based projects, they are not the same. Solana is not going to go head-to-head with Ethereum. It's a different weight class. Sui, Sei, any other new chain that's a year or so old, they're not going to flip Ethereum. Ethereum is over here playing with the likes of BlackRock. Okay? Solana is over here playing with meme coins and degens and PayPal. and soon to have Franklin Templeton on board. Okay, Cardano is over here. Okay, still building out, still building Midnight, putting things live, getting itself in its own eyes ready for what it needs to be. XRP is over here being sued by the SEC. They're different projects, they've got different teams, they've got different roadmaps. Stop with this stupid flippening, soul flipping Ethereum. I mean, seriously, it's not going to happen. It's been a rough start to October. We know Solana came down to 146. We know we can't mention, so there's a lot of things you've got to remember. I'm quite stunted in what I can say because there's a lot of censorship going on. So although I might not sound like I know about too many things because I'm not mentioning too many names, those names happen to be trigger words, so I can't say them, but you know what I mean. We could see a bigger correction to the downside because of what's happening if it escalates. If it doesn't escalate and tensions are reduced, we will see the markets recover. That's as simple as I can put it. So we looked at DeFi Llama, I believe, on Monday, didn't we? We looked at Solana, and again, we looked at the revenue being generated by projects. We looked at Aero making a really good amount of cash every month. We've looked at Solana. Solana is making nowhere near the cash that Ethereum is making. Tron's making a decent amount of money. We've shown you how the stable coins are making so much money. So we have to bear in mind that Ethereum has 10 legs and Solana's got 2 legs that are stronger than Ethereum. That's it. Ethereum has more liquidity. It has its layer 2s doing its DeFi, its ag layer, everything else. Solana is on its own. Okay, it can't do it. Yes, it's got Jupiter, it's got Camino, it's got Meteor, it's got all of that stuff going on. But at the end of the day, let's stop comparing them because they're not in the same league. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm not a fan of Vitalik. I've seriously started to go off him. He shouldn't be in charge of Ethereum Foundation. He shouldn't be that. He should be in charge of R&D and tech and building. They need a better frontman. So Solana's got a better frontman than Ethereum. Charles is a better frontman than Vitalik. So nobody is without fault, especially the leaders of these blockchains. Can it overtake Ethereum? Overtake Ethereum based on what? Well, if we listen to some of the experts, I don't think Ethereum is going to get flipped by Solana in terms of its market cap. I don't think Ethereum is going to get flipped in terms of its liquidity. I don't think it's going to get flipped in terms of its revenue generation. So what is there left to flip? Ethereum has more money, a larger market cap, and generates more money. They're the only three things that matter. Everything else is irrelevant. So what if Solana has got 120 million meme coins? Who cares? I use Solana all the time, but let's be honest with ourselves. Solana is not going to flip Ethereum in this bull run. Not a chance. It didn't get its ETF, which may be a good thing in hindsight. That would have brought a lot of money to Solana. Even with all the VCs, what's Solana going to top out at? 200 billion? 250 billion? Is it going to do a 5x from here? What would that put it? $600-800? That's a realistic target. What's Solana going to top out? Ethereum going to top out at maybe $10,000. That's a 4x from here. If we get there, it's not going to catch it. It's not going to catch it. Solana and Ethereum unlikely to deliver such gains. Absolutely, they're not going to 20x. Again, this is where these articles lose every single bit of credibility. Okay, this is what they do, and this is what you've got to be careful of. Okay, they try to promote by association. Here's Solana, it's wonderful. Here's Ethereum, it's wonderful. Do you want another wonderful coin? Go and look at meme bets. No, don't go and look at meme bets. It's a sponsored inclusion in the article. It's trash. Let's go very quickly have a look at the chart. We're 11:36. The stream is still together. $50,000 Bitcoin and 1,800 ETH incoming. I very much doubt we are going to go as low as 50,000 without more Black Swan events. If there is a major escalation, you are right. If there is a major escalation and superpowers start to get involved, we could easily see $44,000. we could absolutely tank. But remember, so will everything else. Okay, don't take crypto in isolation out of the S&P or the FTSE or the Nike. Don't take it out of context. Everything will tank if this escalates. Everything. The only safe haven is probably going to be Peter Schiff's gold. That's it. Okay? And again, maybe tomorrow we will have a quick look at the gold price. What we're looking at here, Solana. Right. So Solana, even though we've had this correction, it's still in this really nice range. Let's put that in here. So a kind of like this level here, which we came up. I need to get used to this mouse. I only got it yesterday. So we've been kind of in this range now for a little while, and we're still here. I think it's good. I think, 137, we were talking about a $90 Solana. When were we talking about a $90 Solana? It would have been probably about here when we were wicking down to 120 and 111 there. I think, there we go. We were talking about a $99 Solana. And people in chat were talking about a $90 Solana. I don't know the price of Solana next week. The people in chat don't know the price of Solana next week, or Ethereum or Bitcoin. But everybody has an opinion, and everybody should be allowed to have an opinion. That's why nobody ever gets kicked out of chat. Because if you think it's going to $30,000, you'll have your reasons for it. If you think it's going to $100,000, you'll have your reasons for it as well. The point of the matter is, if we listen to everybody's opinions, we can form our own. That's the point of different opinions. So if Peter thinks we're going to 0, if Hethog thinks we're going to 50,000, if Kishan thinks we're going to 70,000, and you all have your different reasons why, and we formulate our opinion based on those reasons, we will have a rounded opinion, because you might like Kishan or Hethog's opinion most. That's entirely up to you. I think if we can hold on and we don't escalate, this is a dip and this is a buying opportunity between 60 and 58. That's what I personally think. Okay? If we escalate, we are going much lower. 52, 54, even 50. But nobody wants that. And I don't mean for crypto, I mean for the world. Nobody wants escalation, okay? You might not like Donald Trump, okay? And there's more reasons to not like him than like him. But on his watch, in 4 years, there was no conflict started because he tried to defuse it. And if you remember, when he was the president, he was on the phone to Zelensky pretty much on a quite regular basis because he knew what was coming. And Biden, unfortunately, has overseen an awful lot of conflict. And that is a sign of a weak American president. The facts don't lie. Obama oversaw an awful lot of disaster as well. Now then, Justin Sun has sold his 5.37 million Eigen airdrop, $21 million. Again, there's two things you should do with airdrops. You should wait for it to spike on day one and sell it. If it crashes and you think it goes below the price that you think is the fair value of it, you should hold on to it. Two examples, I sold my Pive airdrop, double the price it is today. I held on to my Jupiter airdrop, it's probably about the same price it was back then. So again, you need to make your decisions. Justin Sun has decided to sell his 5.3 million Eigenlayer. Doesn't surprise me, and it won't surprise me if he buys back into this project in 3 months' time, 4 months' time. And I guarantee you, for his $21 million, he might get anywhere near 9 or 10 million Eigen. You never know. So he sold up. There he is. Very picturesque man. Interesting story about him. He had a picture of himself at his birthday party. And he looked all kinds of out of proportion. And it looked like an AI photo, but he insisted that it was a real photograph. So Eigen is this new token that dropped. I reviewed it last week, and it's a solid project. It's a good project. It has a lot going for it. I think I said on the review video or the review stream, it's probably one of the top 5 projects that I have reviewed for a certain exchange. I like the way it's built out. I like the tokenomics. It's really quite a nice project. But that doesn't mean you should hold on to it. You should sell it if you get a good price. So the price peaked at $4.53. I think when we looked at the charts today, isn't it down to like $3, something like that? I think if we go and very quickly have a look at the 24-hour. Where are we? What was Eigen? I'm sure Eigen was down. I'm sure I saw Eigen in the bottom part of here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm confusing it. Let's just very quickly go and have a look at Eigen then. Yeah, it's down to 340. Okay. So it's come down to 340. It peaked at 453. I would have sold it at 453 or 420 or 410. It's a good price for it. I think coming down towards $3, $2.50 is fair, and I think that would be a good price to accumulate it at. I am running a little bit late, and I'm very worried that we're going to run out of time and my stream is going to die. For those of you just joining us, my stream like this, but for some reason it has decided to not play games today. So I don't know why that is. Everything else in the house is working apart from the stream. So I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up and we should be good to go. Come on. Okay, I think we are back. There we go. Sorry. Right. There's a few comments in chat that I'm going to go through. Now, there was an interesting one here from Mansa. I agree that the ruling will not be overturned. I totally agree with that. An XRP should come out of this with flying colours, but we don't know when that decision is going to be made. And we actually don't know if they're going to be allowed to appeal. I think they are. I think it will go to December and then we'll take on from there. I can take the good with the bad when it comes to Trump. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He is indeed. He does indeed wear his heart on his sleeve. Right then, let's crack on. Like I said, we have frozen a little bit there. So, Sui launches native bridge to Ethereum. Again, Sui's had a lot of good news in the press. And the one thing I told everybody out last week is I wouldn't be buying. Okay, we're going to get through this as fast as we can because the stream is not happy. I don't know why. I apologize. Right, this is why I wouldn't be buying Sui at this price. We have broken to almost all-time highs. Again, you know, you look at this, it seems to be going up forever. It comes down. It looks like it's going up forever. I think it's going to come down. My two levels to buy Sui at are very simple, 114 and 138. If it doesn't come back to those prices, don't worry about it. There's 2,000 other coins. There's probably 400 solid projects out there. So don't worry if you miss Sui. You had the chance to buy Sui when it was down here at 40, 50 cents. It's now at 187. This is your profit taking time. If you own it and we go to $2.25, $2.30, take some profit because you're up 6x. And then put it into Bitcoin or put it into something else. But I don't like showing these coins that are all the rage and you see all these big fancy YouTubers talking about how good these projects are and you need to be buying. Where were people down here telling you how good Sui was? When we were down there, I was saying for Sui to be a success, it needs to have adoption. People need to use the blockchain. It needs to kick on. It needs to build out its dApps, its games, whatever it might be. Now, it's still got one of the best teams behind it, yes, but it's got one of the best teams behind it and the price is good when it's at 50 cents. It's got a good team behind it when it's at $1.88. So for me, personally, if you own Sui, stake it, earn your APR on it, see how it goes. If you're holding it for the bull run, can it go to $5 or $6? Possibly. Don't see why not. But I wouldn't be buying at this price. If you're buying at 50 cents and it's got a chance of going to $5, that's a 10x. If you're buying at 187 and you want it to go to $5, you're talking about a 2.5x. The risk reward isn't there for me on SUI. How long we got left? 10 minutes. So very quickly, I'm going to try and get through this. I'm really sorry that the stream keeps cutting out. I don't know why. I thought it was the new mouse. I changed it to Bluetooth, but we've cut out 3 times during the stream. So launched on September the 30th, the SUI bridge provides a native link between SUI and Ethereum. The launch of the SUI bridge is an important moment in its interoperability journey. Before this launch, Wormhole, a decentralized cross-chain interoperability protocol, was the only option to bridge between SUI and Ethereum. Wormhole enables users, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that either. SUI climbed into the top 20 on Monday. It's got a market cap of $5.2 billion. Ask yourself the question, where does it go from a $5.2 billion market cap? Where does it go? Does it go to 20 billion? Because I don't know if you've looked recently, but some of these coins, some of these prices are starting to look slightly unachievable. So okay, I think we're back. Now, I know the majority of you will have left, which is fine. But contractually, should we say, that I have to run the stream for an hour at least. I'm going to show you something in a second, which you need to keep in mind. It's so laggy. What is wrong with this? I've got fiber in this house, and it is 300 megabytes fiber, and there is nobody else is awake in the house apart from me streaming. This is what we're getting. I'm back to bring Bitcoin down to $50,000. Kabir, you can go away. I might ban you from the chat for saying things like that. Right then, very quickly. So I'm going to recap because everything's been absolutely disjointed today. Bitwise is applying for an XRP ETF. XRP is going to be sued or appealed with the SEC appealing yesterday. That's terrible news. Sol talking about flipping. Maybe I'm hacked. Tariq, it's more likely you hacking me than anybody else. Hacking me to get hold of the crypto prize draw money so you can go and buy your Tesla. That's more likely. Justin Sun sold his Eigenlayer airdrop for $21 million, which he is perfectly entitled to do. SUI has bridged to Ethereum. That's good news for SUI. And then the final article that I was going to cover, had the stream not just gone to pieces, we were going to talk about Kamala Harris taxing unrealized gains. Now, for those of you out there that think that incredibly rich people should pay tax, because it was my birthday yesterday, Kabir, I wasn't online, but I'm going to pay people today. Tariq, I know him very well. I do indeed. So the Kamala Harris thing, taxing unrealized gains is not just about getting billions of dollars off billionaires, okay? It will crash the market. Why? Because they will have to sell by a certain date. Let's call it April the 1st and September the 1st. Now, if Elon Musk dumps $2 billion worth of Tesla stock, the Amazon, the Google, the Microsoft teams, founders, if they all do the same thing, what they're going to do is actually dump the price of all the stocks, because they'll all have to be sold a week or so before the tax is due. And that's going to happen every year, probably twice a year, probably April and September, twice a year, they will dump their stock. That's the first problem. The second problem is people will know that that day is when, or that week is when they'll have to dump the stock. So what's going to happen is you're not going to hold the stock. You're going to buy the stock on April 2nd and September 2nd, and then you're going to sell it again. So you're going to follow the price action of these billionaires. So it's all well and good saying you're going to tax unrealized gains, but what about unrealized losses? That hasn't been taken into account. And if you think this is about billionaires, it probably isn't, because it will come down to millionaires and everybody else over time, and it would be the end of the stock market. And if you think that is slightly, what's the word? If you think that's being slightly alarmist, how else is it going to work? How is Elon Musk going to get $4 billion to pay his tax bill without selling his stock that he has made the profits on? It's not. And then what's going to happen is when the price of Tesla crashes 25%, you know what? He'll have no unrealized gains, because there'll be no gains on the stocks, because the stock price will be 20, 30, 40% lower. So it's a stupid idea. It is an absolutely stupid idea. And it might be a way for these billionaires to make money, stop them from being able to use their stock as collateral. That's the trick here, not taxing them on it. It is ridiculous. Now then, that is the end of the show. Now, we're going to go through something for the OGs. So a few of you are going to go, but before you do, don't let anybody go. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. The Oracle is not streaming tonight. He is streaming on Friday night, because we want to give the market another day to play out so he can see where things are going to go. So he will be streaming tomorrow night. I'm streaming tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm actually going out in 15 minutes to go and pick up our new cameras. So there is a distinct possibility that over the next couple of weeks, I will be doing these live streams on camera. We've bought some AI cameras, artificial intelligence cameras, that will follow my beautiful head around the room. Kabir's in a dump it tonight. Right, so I'm going to say goodbye to a few people. Just don't go anywhere. And the internet will be in what condition tomorrow? Do you know what, Kabir? Sorry, do you know what, Tariq? Who knows? Right, give me 1 second. I'm just going to turn a few things off so I can show a few people. Okay, so for those of you on Binance and the OGs, this is the next giveaway. Why does that keep moving up there? I've already moved it once. Okay, let's put it there. Right then. So, next Wednesday at 7 p.m, I will be giving away a one key wallet. Not me, sorry. The Oracle and I. We will be giving away a one key wallet. And that's a picture of it there on the screen, believe it or not. One Key Classic. I'm going to be giving that away with the Oracle next Wednesday. It is worth $90, which is probably our second ever biggest giveaway. Now, it is an OG giveaway. So it will be given away to the YouTube subscribers that support us financially. We're going to enter them all into a prize draw and give it away on Wednesday night. So, to hopefully allow other people to enjoy the show as well, we will try and get some crypto together to give away to non-OGs, so you can watch the show and you can enjoy it as everybody else will. But this is probably the nicest thumbnail I've ever made, okay? And yes, it's with AI, but it's absolutely beautiful. I'm probably going to use it for many other things. So next Wednesday, 7 p.m, we're going to give away a one key wallet to one OG member. And we're going to try and scrape together some crypto to give away on that night as well. So if you are watching and if you are an OG, you probably have, I think there's like, 12 or 15 OGs. We're going to enter you all into the prize draw. And hopefully one of you will win. Now, there is something to bear in mind. If you win, so non-OGs can win crypto only, correct, Kabir? Yes. This is a prize that we were sent in the post. We've got two of them, actually. We were sent two. One to do as a giveaway and one to keep for ourselves. So the OGs only will win. Now, I've already taken the list of OGs. So the OGs were taken on September the 30th. I got the list. So if people join between September the 30th and the show, they will not be included because we've got to be fair to the original OGs. So we will give crypto away on that night as well. We'll just find some crypto to give away and we'll give that away. But this is for the OGs. And the one thing that you will need to bear in mind, if you win, you will need to give us an address. OGs can win one key wallet only, correct? So if you're an OG, you have a chance to win the wallet. If you are a non-OG, you have a chance to win crypto, correct? So the crypto, the non-OGs will have one prize draw and the OGs will have the other prize draw. Yes, that's correct. So if you win, you're going to have to give us an address to send it to, which we will do off air, obviously. We can do it on Telegram. You don't have to give us your home address. You can give us your office address. You can give us any address you want. We don't need to know where you live, okay? But it's something we're pretty excited about because this will be the first time we've ever given away a prize, as in a physical prize on the show. And it is a hardware wallet. We will not unwrap your one key, okay? It will come in the wrapping. We will not open it up. We will not put some kind of dodgy software on there to steal your funds. No, it's legitimate. And we're going to do a review video this weekend of it in time for the show. The theme of the show, by the way, will be not your keys, not your crypto. And we're going to go through all of the different types of ways you can hold crypto on an exchange, on a non-custodial wallet, on a hardware wallet. We're going to look at the pros and cons of each, okay? So that's the show next Wednesday. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will be back with a better internet connection, hopefully tomorrow. Until then, take care. I'm off to the airport to go and get our cameras. Have a great weekend. Have a great week if I don't see you soon. And for those of you that do come back tomorrow, I will see you then. Take care.